Hello, grade 9 students. Welcome to my physics class. I am teacher Lourdes, and today I will be discussing with you a new topic in physics. These are the learning goals for today's session. At the end of the lesson, you are expected to: Number 1, define momentum. Number 2, identify the factors that affect momentum. Number 3, calculate the momentum of a moving object. And number 4, recognize the importance of momentum in road safety. But before we proceed to our new lesson, let us recall Newton's 3 laws of motion. Do you still remember these laws? It seems that not all of you are familiar with the laws. Okay, please watch this.
Hello Camille, I have problem in science. Can you help me?
Sure, Andre. Why not?
I don't know the 3 laws of motion. What are those?
Oh my. Just ask Mr. Google. I'm just kidding. The 3 laws of motion are 1. The law of inertia, 2. Law of acceleration, and 3. Law of interaction.
Will you please explain each law?
Well, the first law states that an object persists in its state of rest or uniform motion unless acted upon by a net external force. The second law explains that the object's acceleration is directly proportional to the force applied and inversely proportional to its mass. The third law, known as the law of interaction, states that in every action there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, what are the 3 laws of motion again? These are the law of inertia, law of acceleration, and the law of interaction. Now, consider these 2 vehicles, the truck and the car. How do you compare their velocities? Yes, they are moving with the same velocity. Oh my! The 2 vehicles are about to hit the wall. Which of these 2 vehicles is more difficult to stop? If they crash against the brick wall, which would cause more damage to the wall? The correct answer is the truck, because it has greater mass. What if the vehicles have the same mass but with different velocities? Which do you think is more difficult to stop? Which would bring more damage to the brick wall? The answer is the car with greater velocity. The reason why cars or vehicles can produce damage on the brick wall is because of the quantity called momentum. What is momentum? Momentum is the measure of how difficult it is to stop a moving object. What are the factors that may affect momentum? In order for you to determine the factors that may affect momentum, you have to perform the activity in your learning activity sheet. You will need the following materials: board for inclined plane, ruler, empty matchbox, and 2 toy cars with different masses. You have to do the following. Number 1, place the board or inclined plane on a table or chair. Number 2, place the empty matchbox about 10 centimeters from the foot of the inclined plane. Number 3, position the small toy car on top of the inclined plane. Let it move down the inclined plane and hit the box. Number 4, measure how far the box moved. This will be the stopping distance of the first car. After measuring the stopping distance of the first toy car, repeat steps 3 and 4, but this time use the heavier toy car. It's so easy, right? Okay, class, You may now perform this simple activity. The procedure can also be found in your learning activity sheet number 1. Okay, you may start now. Are you done with your activity?
Yes.
Good job! Now let us discuss the answers to the questions in your activity. What did you observe in your activity regarding the stopping distance of the light and heavy toy car based on the distance the matchbox was thrown? For the lighter toy car, the stopping distance must always be shorter or lesser than that of the heavy toy car. And for the heavy toy car, the stopping distance must always be longer or greater than that of the light toy car. How will you now compare the stopping distance of the heavy and the light toy car? Based from your activity, the heavier toy car has greater stopping distance than the light toy car. Since momentum is the measure of how difficult it is to stop a moving object, we can say that the greater the stopping distance of the car, the greater its momentum. And since the heavier toy car has greater stopping distance, therefore, the heavier toy car, which has greater mass, has greater momentum. So, can you give one factor that can affect the momentum of the vehicles? The answer is the mass. The greater the mass of an object, the greater the momentum. Let's go back to this situation. I have said a while ago that if these two cars would crash against the brick wall, the car with greater velocity would bring more damage to the wall. Based from this situation, what is the other factor that can affect momentum? The second factor that can affect the momentum of an object is velocity. The faster an object moves, the greater the momentum. Momentum is also defined as the product of the mass of an object and its velocity. You can calculate momentum by using the formula P is equal to mv, where P is the momentum of an object, m is the mass, and v is the velocity. The unit of momentum is equal to the unit of the mass multiplied by the unit of velocity, or kilogram meter per second. Let us answer some problems on momentum. Are you ready, class?
Yes.
Problem number 1. A racing car of mass 1,000 kilograms is moving with a velocity of 10 meters per second. What is its momentum? Given, mass is equal to 1,000 kilograms, velocity equals 10 meters per second. The formula for momentum is P equals mv, where m is the mass, which is equal to 1,000 kilograms, and the velocity v is equal to 10 meters per second. By multiplying these two quantities, the momentum of the car will be equal to 10,000 kilogram meter per second. Did you understand, class?
Yes.
Very good. Now, let us proceed to the next problem. The momentum of a 55 kilogram man running southward is 275 kilogram meter per second. Calculate his velocity. Given, the mass is equal to 55 kilograms, momentum is equal to 275 kilogram meter per second. In this problem, the momentum of the man is already given. You will only calculate his velocity. You will use again the formula P equals mv. Then, substitute the values of momentum and mass. So, we have 275 kilogram meter per second equals 55 kilograms times the velocity v. After substituting the values, you have to divide both sides by 55 kilograms. So we have 275 kilogram meter per second over 55 kilograms equals 55 kilograms divided by 55 kilograms multiplied by V. 275 kilogram meter per second divided by 55 kilograms is equal to 5 meters per second. Therefore, the velocity of the man is 5 meters per second. Any question regarding the solution in problem number 2?
None.
Great! When there is a car accident, the driver as well as the passengers decelerate rapidly. They experience a great force because of the change in momentum, which can cause injuries. So, in order to minimize accidents and prevent road users from being killed or seriously injured, safety measures were implemented. One of the safety measures is the use of airbag. An airbag is a safety device in cars that automatically inflates during an accident. The purpose of an airbag is to help the passengers in a car reduce their speed in collision without getting injured. Another safety feature in car is the seat belt. It is a safety device designed to secure the driver or a passenger against harmful movement that may result during a collision or a sudden stop. Next is the use of road signs. Road signs provide valuable information to drivers and other road users. They represent rules to keep road users safe and help to communicate messages to drivers and pedestrians that can maintain order and reduce accidents. Can you name this road sign? Okay, this is a school crossing sign or a school zone sign. This sign is meant to warn drivers that they are approaching a crossing where school children cross the roadway. How about this sign? Are you familiar with this?
Yes.
Good. This is the no U-turn sign. This road sign prohibits U-turns. You can make a left turn at this intersection, but making a complete turn to go in the opposite direction is not allowed. Next is the speed limit sign. Who can explain the meaning of this sign? Yes, the speed limit sign is used to set maximum speed at which vehicles may travel on that specific section of roadway. This road sign, which means dangerous curve ahead, lets the drivers know that the road curves ahead and reminds them to slow down. Those are just some of the road signs that are commonly seen in highways. For more road signs and safety measures, kindly click the following links. Okay, class, let us summarize the concepts that we learned today. We defined momentum as the measure of how hard it is to stop a moving object. And what are the factors that may affect momentum? Number 1 is the mass. The greater the mass of an object, the greater the momentum. Then number 2, velocity. The faster an object moves, the greater the momentum. Momentum is also defined as the product of the mass and the velocity of an object. And to calculate the momentum of a moving object, you will use the formula P is equal to mv, where P is the momentum, m is the mass, and v is the velocity. The unit of momentum is equal to the unit of mass multiplied by the unit of velocity, or kilogram meter per second. To prevent accident in highways, several road safety measures were implemented. Examples are the use of airbags, seat belts, and road signs. The following are examples of common road signs. Letter A, stop. B, school zone. C, no U-turn. D. Speed limit. And letter E. Dangerous curve ahead. Do you have any questions, class?
None.
Okay, if none, then you may answer the 5-item quiz. That's all for today's session. Thank you. See you again next time.